I was talking to one of Madelyn's mentors this weekend. I had never sat down and talked to her. Madelyn talks to her all the time, but this is the first time that I've met her in person. And we got to sit down and have a conversation over coffee this morning. Mm-hmm. And she was talking about there's two sides of the road. There's the side of a rebellion, and then there's the side of the self-righteousness. And she was like, they're on the same road. They're just on different sides. And sometimes we can go as Christians, as people who go to church, we can definitely veer off into the self-righteous, but that's still a ditch.
Yep.
Right? Or we can go into the rebellion. I'm not going to listen, but that's still a ditch. It is still a ditch. The thing that keeps you off the road from heading into those heavenly places, from heading into getting to know the Father more. And I'm like, I don't want to be in the ditch. Lord, I don't want to be in the ditch. So expand my palate. Yeah. It says, taste and see that the Lord is good and his mercy endureth forever. Expand my palate because I want to taste all of you. I just don't want to taste the sweet part. I just don't want to taste the savory parts. I want to taste the hotness. I want some of those chili
Come
peppers.
on.
You know what I mean? I want to taste all of you.
So good. And I think understanding that and those different flavors. I mean, I was just talking to someone, we were on a live virtual event with 85 people, and he had this blue, beautiful bottle. It looked like a wine bottle of sparkling water. And then he had these little mini shots, and it looked like he was literally taking shots, but it was ginger, lemon, orange, all the flavorings that are really good for you. And he had to do a disclaimer. He's like, I know that you guys might be thinking I'm drinking over here. This is water. This is healthy shots for my voice. And I was thinking in that perspective, I'm like, oh man, I used to take shots of wheatgrass. And anytime new people would come over, I'm like, try this. I don't know if Gary ever served you up some apple Bragg's vinegar when you came over, but he used to do that for people. And I was always like, babe, that is so mean. But you cannot enjoy the sweetness until you know what bitter tastes like.
Ooh.
Come on.
Right? I'm just saying, right? And that's the thing is we all want this savory life. We all want it to be easy and walk in the garden in the cool of day. And the Lord wants that for us too. But because of sin and the situation in which we have put ourselves into, we get both and yet if we seek and if we continue to press in and on towards his prize rather than the secular space, I mean, I can choose to walk in rebellion, and it might feel fun for a minute when I'm playing with the pigs, but I am constantly crawling my way out because I know what the retribution is on the other side of that. Same with self-righteousness. So it's why do people consistently walk in the ditch and then play in the mud? It's because an element of that, just like the element of said wheatgrass or element of whatever that is, there's was that good? Maybe that was good. And they keep going after that. Now it's habitual. Now, and I know you know about this, Madelyn, now we have to work with our neuroplasticity and rewire and rewrite that old story that has now become habit, which feels really hard because we don't even know what it feels like to walk in the cool of the day. We don't even understand what sweet and savory actually is when it comes to Christ and knowing him.
Right. Definitely. And the thing too is that, when we walk in these ways that it says, that trip us up, he can change the verdict for you. You know what I'm saying? And that was what I talked about. It's a process because change the verdict for the woman with the issue of blood, right? We don't know the process that it took her to get through the crowd. We don't know the pain, right? But she did it anyway. Sometimes in order to stop what we're doing, we have to do an about face.
Come on.
And we have to walk away. Now, is it going to be hard? Yes. Ask any alcoholic that's gone to Alcoholics Anonymous. You know what I'm saying?
Ask anyone who needs to break soul ties.
Yeah, there you go.
I know. It's hard. It's hard, but it was her faith that made her whole.
Come on.
It wasn't touching his garment. It was her faith that made her whole. It was my faith to know that I know I'm not liking this right now because this stuff right here will get you in trouble every single time. But when I say, God, I don't see this, but I trust And then you just keep walking in it. And I told someone, I don't care if you take geisha steps, just little steps, as long as you are making forward momentum.
Yeah.
The prodigal was making forward momentum after he realized that he was with the pigs and wasted all of this stuff away. But that forward momentum, God was already waiting for him. He is already always waiting for us when we walk away. And just like the children of Israel, it was a hot mess. And they had to have some kind of ruler to govern them, because when they didn't, they would just act a fool. But every single time they cried out to God, every single time he showed up.
Yeah.
Every single time. He changed the verdict for them, because he could have wiped them away like he did with Noah and their, but he didn't, because he's so compassionate. And so even in breaking the soul ties and stepping away from habits, we have to know that the source of our healing is not ourselves,